Welcome back everyone, this will be my full Marvel Spider-Man No Way Home review. I did a non-spoilery review earlier this week. This one will be a little bit more complete, talking about more specific things from the movie, so if you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get everything. We're doing a giveaway for IMAX tickets for the movie. All you have to do to enter, just be a subscriber, and let me know what your favorite Spider-Man movie is after watching this one. Obviously careful for spoilers from the movie if you haven't seen it yet, because I'll be talking about pretty much everything that happens. I'll sort of slide into the more spoilery stuff later in the video. I'll try to kind of ease into that. I will be doing post-credit scene videos of full breakdown Easter eggs for the entire movie in the next couple of days as well too. But just like I said in my no spoiler review earlier this week, this is legit the biggest movie of the year, of any kind, just based on the scope of what they're trying to do with the story and the Spider-Man characters. But there was so much hype, so much anticipation going into this movie based on theories that people had, and it delivered and then some. Completely exceeded all my expectations. The Marvel people have been calling it Spider-Man Endgame just because it does for Spider-Man what Avengers Endgame did for the Avengers. It's meant to be like the biggest Avengers movie you've ever seen, but also give the characters a definitive ending to their current arcs in the MCU. They do a good job of ending Spider-Man No Way Home, bookending sort of this era of his Homecoming trilogy, but also giving you hints about what they're going to be doing with the character next, should Tom Holland want to come back, and he's already said that yes, he does want to come back. But the way they end the movie, you can tell they wanted to give an opportunity for Spider-Man to have a very fresh start in the MCU with whatever they do with that next trilogy. Metaphorical and literal fresh start because of the way they sort of wipe the slate clean with Doctor Strange's spell at the end of the film. There were so many jokes going into the movie about how Tom Holland was going to get pushed to the background, like, which cameo are you most looking forward to? I'm most looking forward to Tom Holland's Spider-Man getting a cameo in his own movie. Despite the fact that they do go full Spider-Verse, like legit live-action Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, the story is still squarely focused on Tom Holland's Spider-Man. He is very much the main character. But at the same time, the other really amazing thing is that it gives all the other characters, even the lesser side characters, complete and satisfying arcs. Which is usually what the main complaint is about movies that are this big, any kind of comic book movie or big action movie. I've said it before, but I'll say it again, after this movie, Tom Holland will probably be your new favorite live-action Spider-Man. Older people who saw all the Spider-Man movies in theaters, myself included, will always be nostalgic for Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movies in different ways. Everybody has had their favorite Spider-Man the past 20 years, but legit Tom Holland completely brings it in this movie. He gave it all. It's the portrayal of MCU Spider-Man that everyone had been asking for since they first announced him as the new Spider-Man in Captain America Civil War back in 2016. Like, oh, this is what I've been waiting for from a Spider-Man movie in the MCU. Even during the parts of the movie that didn't quite work as well, he still shines through. And just to address those parts of the movie, easily, the second half of the film or so is legit perfect. Like, we're talking a perfect Spider-Man movie, perfect Marvel movie, everything you've always wanted from a film like this. The part of the movie that didn't work quite as well is really like the early part before he goes to see Doctor Strange for the first time to perform the spell, all before the Sinister Six villains show up. Once they start showing up, the movie is mostly perfect, chef's kiss. Is really all the stuff with Happy and Aunt May's relationship and them trying to get into college that slows the film down a bunch. Like, it kind of drags on things a little bit. I understand why those things are in the movie, like the college stuff needs to be there because it's supposed to be his main motivation for performing the spell in the first place to help MJ and Ned get into MIT. And all the Happy and Aunt May comedic relationship stuff is there to explain why they go live with Happy at his apartment after things get crazy with the angry Mysterio stands, and to set up the end of the movie with him and Happy at Aunt May's grave to bookend things. But all that early stuff with Happy feels a little out of place, and the college stuff just felt a little flimsy. Like, in order for the main twist of the movie, this big multiverse spell, to make sense, why he'd do something like this, they kind of have to make Spider-Man go full monkey brain idiot. Doctor Strange even yells at him after things go crazy for being a total idiot. Like, you didn't even bother to call the admissions office to plead your case before asking me to brainwash the entire world? So it truly is a local man's ruins everything for a bad reason kind of scenario. Like, J. Jonah Jameson is not wrong. Spider-Man is to blame for literally everything that happens during the movie. But aside from those few minor things, pretty much everything else about the movie was pitch perfect. Benedict Cumberbatch was amazing as Doctor Strange, no surprise there, he's probably one of the best working actors in the world today. And one of Marvel's most important characters now that Iron Man isn't around. Now, I've also said this before, but Spider-Man, I think technically, is the most important Marvel character going forward, just because of the way he sort of ties what came before, the Avengers Infinity Saga movies, what's happening right now and what's going to be happening in the future all together as this really relatable ground-level POV audience character. But Doctor Strange, I would argue, is kind of like the replacement for Iron Man, is sort of like the de facto, huge, very powerful character that everybody goes to for help now. He wasn't nearly as big a part of the movie as I originally thought that he would be based on the way the trailers portray him. He's really only around for a few key scenes at the beginning to set up the whole multiverse Spider-Verse plot, and then at the end of the movie to fix everything with another multiverse spell. They do use a few of his brief scenes to also set up plot elements for Doctor Strange 2, and I will do a separate post-credit scene video for the Doctor Strange 2 trailer. It really does play like a trailer for the movie, so we'll see if they release that online after next week. I think eventually they'll post a slightly different version of it. It's just a regular trailer like they normally would. There are a lot of background elements and hints that you get about future Marvel Phase 4 plot, but it's subtle enough that it doesn't take you out of the current Spider-Man Sinister Six story that's playing out on screen. Once all the Sinister Six characters make it into the MCU and start bantering with each other in Spider-Man, that's really when the movie gets going. They pulled this off so well that after this movie, you'll be asking Marvel nonstop how long before you do an Avengers Secret Wars movie. Like, give me more of this, but turn it up to 11. All the villain performances were amazing, they all get great arcs during the film, but Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin was very much the main villain. Even though you only really see 5 of them on screen together at any one time, they are going for a very Sinister Six kind of vibe. Willem Dafoe said that his main condition for coming back was that they would make him a huge part of the story and let him do most of his own stunts, which they did. You can tell he's great. He totally understood the assignment. He's every bit the Green Goblin that you remember from the first Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movie. A little bit more subtle, I think, but his switch from Norman Osborn to the Goblin persona is still every bit as great as it was during that first movie. And the way that his Goblin plays off of Spider-Man and the whole Aunt May Uncle Ben twist. Speaking of which, they gave Marissa Tomei's Aunt May a huge upgrade just in terms of the scope of what she's doing during this story. They kind of turned her into an MCU version of Uncle Ben, giving her a bunch of classic Uncle Ben story, the iconic phrase, "With great power comes great responsibility." They finally uttered that during a Marvel movie.
Remember, with great power comes great responsibility.
They even directly call that out later in the movie, like, oh, I know that phrase because my Uncle Ben said it, then he died. Just like there are a few minor complaints about how stupid they have to make Spider-Man at the beginning of the movie, there are a couple problems that I have with Aunt May's logic and forcing the Sinister Six mental health issue. Changing them, trying to fix them in the MCU won't change things for those other universes as much as you think they would. I know there'll be a ton of questions about the whole logic of the way they change things at the end of the film, like what does the spell change exactly? What does everybody remember about Spider-Man going forward? Now, don't worry, I'll address that during my full breakdown and Easter eggs video. Alfred Molina was great. He gets a much fuller version of his arc that he did during Spider-Man 2, going from villain to hero again in a more complete way. Even though I would still argue that Spider-Man 2 is one of the best comic book movies of all time, so it wasn't like they needed to fix his arc in Spider-Man 2. If anybody had a character arc that needed fixing, it was Jamie Foxx's Electro, and they did that and then some. And just to address that, I did say this earlier, but the movie isn't just a sequel to the Tom Holland MCU Spider-Man movies. A lot of times it feels like a sequel to the other Sony Spider-Man movies, so it tries to pick up where the stories of those Sony Spider-Man characters left off and give them meaningful, happy endings. I'd argue that the Sandman and the Lizard arcs in the movie are kind of truncated, kind of like speedrun versions, but they were much smaller characters than the other villains. They did have good moments, but the focus is really on Green Goblin, Dr. Octopus, and Electro. And there are lots of things from the old Spider-Man movies, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man movies, that people still like to make fun of and meme today. They included a lot of that energy in the movie. Like, there are a lot of things about those movies that just did not work, and they call that out in a lot of jokes during the film. Just to slide into mega spoiler territory so I can talk about the real delights of the movie, so, just here we go, careful for mega spoilers. All the Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield stuff was amazing. Everything I'd hoped that they would be and more. They were a way bigger part of the film than I ever expected, way more scenes. And it was as if they had never left. They just picked up right where they left off. You will legit cry a couple times when they're on screen all together. Michael Giacchino's music during the film was amazing. He did a great job of incorporating a lot of the themes from all the different Sony Spider-Man movies and the Tom Holland MCU Spider-Man movies. Some of the most cry-worthy moments are when they sort of remix all the main theme songs from all 3 Spider-Man when they're on screen together going full science bros, and when they're teaming up at the end of the film. All the scenes of the 3 Spider-Man together, probably some of the best parts of the movie. Like, give me more of this all day, every day. Please don't be the last time that you try something like this. Longtime Spider-Man fans will probably enjoy these little jokes and references more than the younger, brand new fans, but every last bit of fan service was great. It never felt too over the top or took me out of the movie. Like Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man and Tom Holland's Spider-Man being flabbergasted by Tobey Maguire's organic web shooters, and then Tobey Maguire sort of playing off them, like, wait a minute, are you trying to tease me? No, we think that's cool. We want to know how you make that webbing. Does it only come out of your wrist? Does it come out of other places? Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man referring to himself as the lame Spider-Man, all the pep talks that Tobey Maguire gives to both of them, is a lot of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse energy with the midlife crisis Spider-Man helping out Miles Morales. A lot of pep talks from the older Spider-Man. They pay off a lot of Easter eggs and references to both of their films in present day, like new spins on major twists and character moments from their original movies. And one of the best Tobey Maguire scenes in the movie is legit during the final boss fight in the way he helps Tom Holland with Green Goblin. It was all just chef's kiss perfect. We all knew they were going to be in the movie the whole time, but what I saw just completely exceeded my expectations on every level. And just to address the end of the movie, I thought that it was a great way to end this Homecoming trilogy arc and sort of wipe the slate clean for all of them so that they can do a much more traditional type of Spider-Man solo film in the future. Like a Spider-Man who's not totally beholden to Iron Man or the Avengers or always looking to someone else for help, just Spider-Man dealing with his own villains and problems inside the MCU while all the other Avengers stuff is going on around him. So I think the idea is that we'll see Spider-Man 4, it'll be a much truer idea of a solo Spider-Man movie with fewer big Avengers crossovers, and then we'll see him cross over in a big Avengers 5 type of movie. There were 2 post-credit scenes just to kind of grade them. The mid-credit scene is the Venom scene. It acts as sort of a continuation of the Venom Let There Be Carnage post-credit scene and helps set up a future MCU Spider-Man symbiote saga. It was exactly what it needed to be, short and sweet, answered a lot of questions about how things are going to work going forward. The Doctor Strange 2 post-credit scene felt a little weird in that it felt a little more like a trailer that they just attached to the end of the movie as opposed to just like a full complete scene like you'd normally expect from a post-credit scene. After watching Spider-Man No Way Home a couple times now, I'll say that it is my favorite MCU Spider-Man movie, and now it's tied for my favorite Spider-Man movie overall with Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 2 is now a close second, like very close second. Once you do have a chance to see the movie, post all your reactions in the comments below, and like I said, let me know, what is your new favorite live-action Spider-Man and favorite Spider-Man movie? My next videos will be my post-credit scene breakdowns for the movie and my Doctor Strange 2 trailer breakdown, so make sure you go see this movie as fast as possible. Congratulations Runak Rahendran, you're the giveaway winner from my last big Spider-Man video. Please email me on the About page of my channel so I can get your contact details. Everyone click here for my Spider-Man No Way Home post-credit scene videos. I'll update the link as soon as I post those tomorrow. And click here for my full Hawkeye Episode 5 Kingpin and Yelena Belova video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.